right here, right now. I put the offer out. Don't want to chase you down, but I know you see me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
God.
I haven't seen it yet.
And
I'm guessing
on?
That's what it's from.
This is the greatest show about comics set in Lima, Ohio, in this room today.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
This is Alter Ego Comics TV. Yeah, we need like a...
Or Comics Are Awesome, as the case may be.
I was going to stick with Alter Ego Comics.
Okay, because you go back and forth a
lot.
lot.
TV, but then Comics Are Awesome is the podcast name.
Okay.
Someone's watching us on their smart TV, I bet. Not
live. Do smart TVs do Facebook? Probably, I guess. I've never tried to stream video through mine.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the week of Free Comic Book Day.
Comic Book Day!
This is like the ramp up to Christmas for comic shops. For comic fans, really, because you get to visit comic book stores and get free comics. And this year's batch is super cool. Are we going to do a preview?
Hi, Zach.
You want to do a free comic book? Not right now, but...
Of the books?
Yeah, we should probably do that. Not during this Facebook Live, but anyway. So, yeah, there's some stuff going on in comic shops, and we are here to talk about this week's best comics, the comics that we liked the most and that we hope you will pick up and support, because they're awesome. My pick is Death or Glory, #1 by Rick Remender.
Remender!
And Bengal.
Bengal!
Bengal. Like the Cincinnati Bengals, I guess. One name, Bengal.
Sure. I like the band, the Bengals?
That's the Bengals.
Oh,
This
Bengal.
is the Bengal.
Oh, Bengal.
Bengal.
The Bay of Bengal? It's a place?
Oh, stop.
Bengal tiger?
Yeah, I know. That's why I said Bengal, not Bengal.
Okay.
I've never met Bengal. I couldn't tell you what he looks like. He or she. But this book looks amazing. I will tell you that much. The artwork is outstanding. Remender, of course, is a very gifted wordsmith. He writes great things like Deadly Class, soon to be a TV show. And
a great run on X-Force.
7 to Eternity.
7 to Eternity is really good.
Yeah.
Fear Agent was good. What's that one I like about the Rapture?
Oh, I don't remember.
Demon Girl or Doom Girl?
Something Mary? Night Mary? No, that wasn't it. I think she did.
That could be a thing too, but it's not the one I'm talking about.
But anyway, Death or Glory is what we're talking about today, and this is. I don't know if this is taking place in a wastelandish future. I don't think it is.
No, I think it's our time.
I think it's present day. Yeah, but it kind of dropped a few hints that it may be. But I'm glad it's not, honestly, because I've had my fill of post-apocalyptic wasteland stories. But Death or Glory is about a girl named Glory, a woman, I should say, who is basically living on a commune. Not really. She hangs out with bikers and truckers, and her parents took her off the grid years ago, and she knows her way around a garage. And her father figure needs a liver transplant, but they live off the grid, so he has no social security number. They have no money. He can't get it done. He's only got like a week to live if he doesn't get a new liver. And she comes up with a harebrained idea to get some money, which turns into violence and fast car chases and smash-ups and some sort of villainous guy who can freeze things.
It's like a Coen Brothers movie directed by Sam Peckinpah.
There we go. That's all. Thank you, Josh. And that's it for me. But it's action packed. It's great, beautiful to look at. As I said, the artwork by Bengal is outstanding. The characters are all very relatable, especially our main character Glory. You're very sympathetic towards her, and she's kind of living in like Hazard County. Like the cops are on the take, and it's really, really good. It's a really solid first issue. I think it's accessible to anybody that enjoys comics. That's why it's my pick.
Yeah. My pick of the week is Coda #1, written by Spurrier with art by Matias. Bergara. There we go. All right, Coda is... I don't know what the title Coda is referencing, but I'm going to guess. So Coda is, after a musical piece is done, the last time through, you go to this little bit at the end that's similar to how it was before, but usually final and kind of wraps it all together. And that's what this is. This is a world that used to be a world of magic and mysticism and knights and swords and honor. and something real bad went down. Magic is gone. It's basically just trickling out of the world. The elves have gone into the west or somewhere else. The elves are all gone. The Yelves, they spell it really weird. There's a Y in there. It's not a very traditional fantasy setting, but the tropes of fantasy are still applied abundantly across it. But the story we get is sort of like after that. It's like a post-apocalyptic. It's like a Tolkien post-apocalypse. You've got a kind of a bardy, roguey character wandering the wasteland on his what did you say? Octocorn? No, 5. Septicorn? No, that's 7. 5. Pentacorn, which is also called, what do they call it? A stabby horse. And it just murders people. I love this cover, by the way. Is this Jay Lee?
That's Jay Lee.
It looks like Jay Lee.
Yep.
Yeah, it's super pretty. And it's wisecracking. It's aware of itself, but it's not like overly meta textual. Basically, something... It's not clear. Something has happened to the woman he loves. I don't know if they're married or if it's his wife, but she's gone. She's either been murdered or taken by some orky, villainous bad guys. And so he's going around trying to scrape together enough magic to get the spell he needs to get it done. And he has a contact who's like a mermaid, Jabba the Hutt. It's just insane. It's so good. It's relatable and very modern feeling, but with a mixture of mythology and fantasy and noir, and just I was incredibly surprised. I am not a huge Cy Spurrier fan. I've liked a few things he's done, but I was just knocked out of the park by Coda this week. Definitely worth your time.
So who is this book for?
Anyone? I mean, you'll benefit from a little fantasy background and knowledge just because they're referencing things they don't really explain, but you don't need them to follow it any more than you needed to understand 2001: A Space Odyssey to watch Star Wars. You know, this is an action, fun. It's dark, but it's light content. There's a stabby corn. I think it's for anybody. I think if you like good comics, there's something for everybody in this. It doesn't take itself overly seriously. So if you want a serious drama. If you want traditional Tolkien, this is probably not where I would look. But otherwise, if you like post-apocalyptics, you like fantasy, you like humor, check it out.
If you like a lot of pages for your money...
I don't know if it's the paper quality or what, but it does seem big.
The book weighs as much as all 3 of the books in my stack this week.
And if you are a fantasy fan, one thing us fantasy fans enjoy is a map. And we get not just a map, we get a map before the apocalypse, and then a hand-drawn map after the apocalypse with stuff like Creepy Bloody Tower, Avoid, and Fungal Holt, and Trade, Good Booze, Malarial Horribleness. Just so much fun.
I want to say hi to Elliot and Mike, who have joined us in addition to Zach. So thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon. If you do have any questions, go ahead and post those in the comments. We'll do our best to get to them. My next pick is DC Nation number 0. This, my friends, is the steal of the week, priced at 25 cents or free if you come to Alter Ego Comics. Anyone with a subscription will find one of these in your file, courtesy of your team here at Alter Ego. But this is basically not a primer, it's more like a prologue to 3 big things going on in DC land starting actually next week. So the one that starts the soonest is the Justice League. Is it No Justice?
No Justice.
Written by an army of people. Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, and Joshua Williamson are the writers. Artists are...
Well, the artist on this issue is just Jimenez.
Oh, Jorge Jimenez, who was awesome, who did Super Sons and some other stuff. But this is basically... It spins out of the end of Dark Knight's Metal, where the... What is it called? The Wall of Sorrows? The
Source Wall at the edge of the universe?
Is now broken thanks to our friends in the Justice League and the evil things in Dark Knight's Metal. So there's all this stuff that's coming at Earth and coming at the Justice League, and it's more than the existing League can handle. So they have to split up into 4 different teams based on the 4 different elements of the universe, I guess. So we've got Wonder and... Magic and some other stuff.
Wisdom. It's Wisdom, Wonder, Mystery, and Entropy.
So yeah, so we've got a mixture of heroes and villains on these teams, which is very interesting. Basically, you have a core League member leading each team. Batman is the leader of Entropy. Superman is the leader of Mystery. Martian Manhunter is there too. Wonder Woman is the leader of Wonder Woman. of Team Wonder, and Team Wisdom is led by Cyborg. So, but you've got members of the Teen Titans on here. You've got villains, like I said, like Harley Quinn and Lobo. You've got characters we haven't seen in a while, like Dr. Fate. So there's all kinds of cool stuff going on with the Justice League, and this is just, again, kind of a prologue to what we're going to see in the weekly event that starts, again, I believe next week, Justice League No Justice. Then the second story is the first kind of lead into Brian Michael Bendis outside of the Action comic. The lead into Brian Michael Bendis. The lead into Bendis's Man of Steel miniseries, where we get to see what's going on in the world of Clark Kent and the Daily Planet. And it turns out that there is someone missing from Clark's life, and that would be Lois. And we don't know where she is, what's going on, but she's apparently doesn't... It's not like she's been kidnapped or anything. She just doesn't work at the planet anymore.
Does this pick up from the action thing that was this week? Sorry, I'm just putting this together.
I don't think so.
Well, because the lead story in there
was about
the guy from the future who knew her, who found out the identity, and then in here he says she's in hiding to protect him, in part of his dialogue. I don't think so. Okay, but it's possible. So this is written by Brian Michael Bendis, artwork by legendary Superman artist Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Good setup to what Bendis is going to be doing in Man of Steel. Again, Man of Steel is a 4 or 5 issue miniseries, weekly miniseries that comes before Bendis taking over Action and Superman. So look for that, I believe, in June. And then we have the 800-pound gorilla of the story, or of this comic. He's doing them in reverse order. So if you actually read them, this is the first book. This is the first story.
Yeah, I did them closest release to furthest release.
Sure.
So we have a Tom King written, Clayman drawn Batman story starring the Joker, who is anxiously awaiting his wedding invitation. He has discovered that Batman and Catwoman are to be married, and the Joker is camping out at some poor soul's home waiting for his invitation. And it is extremely well done. It is extremely disturbing, but also well done. So you get a fantastic Joker story, you get a Justice League story, you get a Superman story by by 5 of the top writers at DC Comics right now for 25 cents. DC Nation number 0.
I want to say hi to Wes. I think we already said hi to Mike and Elliot and Zach. My question is, what do you guys think will be a better read, Bendis' Superman or Snyder's Jail?
I am going to go with... I think they're going to be different. I don't... Which one am I going to like more? Probably Snyder's Justice League. That's the one I'm probably going to like more.
Yeah. I assume that would be the one you would like more. Yeah. Because you really liked him writing essentially the Justice League in metal when it started. It's a more fun read. Yeah, I think Bendis' Superman will be better, like in terms of importance and in terms of quality. In terms of fun of reading, it will probably be Justice League. I'm excited about both of them.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, there's no one loses in that contest.
Yeah, there is no loser there. I'm excited for Bendis to be writing Superman, and I'm really curious to see what direction he takes things in. And even just the little snippet we get in the DC Nation, it's great to see Bendis writing dialogue for Superman and Perry White and Jimmy Olsen.
And Wes asked, saw you at Infinity War early launch, amazing movie, what were your thoughts? We're not going to say anything important because Facebook Live just starts playing videos when you scroll through, and it hasn't been quite long enough for me to assume everyone hasn't seen it, but I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. I'm excited I only have to wait a year for the next part.
I loved it. The more I think about it, the more I like it, and I loved it leaving the theater. So... All right, you are up.
Next up for me, you are Deadpool #1, written by Butch Ewing. Is it Butch Ewing?
No.
Sure it is. Al Ewing, with art by Salva Espen. And this is the best Deadpool book I have ever read, which is mainly because it's not actually a Deadpool book. This is a love letter to a whole variety of things from the 70s and 80s. Most prominently, it is a love letter to Choose Your Own Adventures. The entire book is Choose Your Own Adventure. Every panel is numbered, and the choices you make for Deadpool guide you through the adventure. And in typical fourth wall breaking Deadpool fashion, he comments on the choices you make and the things you do and don't do. And that's really great. It's also a pretty big love letter to role-playing games. We've got the title page is set up like a character sheet, and this is probably more involved than a traditional choose your own adventure. You actually have a character sheet. You track inventory as you pick up items in the Deadpool story. There's a cutout dice you can make to roll for when you have to roll attacks against bad guys. You have actual stats for the choices you make, whether you make Deadpool sad or whether you make him bad. It's really exciting adventure in comics, and I don't like Deadpool books in general, but I really enjoyed reading this. There were just too many little things that were fun and funny, and it was just unlike any comic I've ever read. So this is going to be a weekly series, so if you want it, I would talk to your people at your local store, because they are not going to have a lot of it, because when we have to order all 4 issues before the first issue ships, we don't order very many copies. Take note, Marvel, no matter how good a book is, I'm not selling it weekly.
Yeah, weekly series are a lose-lose scenario. You either don't have enough or you have too many.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Amanda. Hi. Oh, it's Stormtrooper Jeff and Jeff Smith. Those are not the same person, in case I'm trying to protect his family. Does Stormtrooper Jeff have enemies? Jedi?
I don't think so.
Jedi Jeff?
I
Jedi
think,
Jeff is the enemy of Stormtrooper Jeff?
I think probably the Rebels are the enemy. Tough toilet stains are the enemy of Stormtrooper Jeff.
Tarkin's tough toilet stains. Hi, Mom.
All right, my final selection this week is Avengers #1, written by Jason Aaron, artwork by Ed McGuinness, and this is Marvel's fresh start. This is the first. Is this the first fresh start book? I think it is.
Sure.
So we finally, after what was it, October, September, when Legacy came out?
Yeah, thereabouts.
We get to see Avengers 1 million BC again, which we haven't seen in quite a while. So you have Odin and the first Black Panther and the first Spirit of Vengeance and the first Sorcerer Supreme and Starbrand, who's a lot like Hulk, in the first Iron Fist, and of course the Phoenix Force are the original Avengers from Avengers 1 million BC. So you have some more snippets of their story and how that connects to the present day, which is there's some great pages of Thor and Tony Stark and Steve Rogers having a drink together and basically saying, why did we let this fall apart, and we need to get the band back together again. And if you're familiar with the movies, this is kind of a good place to jump in, because the characters are kind of sort of written like they are in the movies, and there are several characters that you will recognize who are part of this team, including Black Panther and Doctor Strange, and the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider is here.
From S.H.I.E.L.D. and comics, I suppose.
Yes, and Jennifer Walters, a.k.a. She-Hulk, is going to be a member, and finally Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, who has a little movie coming out in March, is also part of this new team. So this is it. This is a new beginning for the Avengers, featuring basically a whole bunch of familiar characters written by one of the best writers at Marvel, and should be on your pull list if you're a Marvel fan.
Absolutely. Hi, Joe. Joseph, how excited are you for the Deadpool sequel? Pretty? I'm more trepidatious, because comedy is harder to do once it's been done, and they did a really good job the first time of capturing the feel of Deadpool, and there are very few comedy sequels that are as good as the original. But even if it's only half as good as the first one, it's still going to be better than most comic book movies across history, so...
I dragged my feet seeing the first Deadpool because I'm not a Deadpool fan, and I didn't see it until it was out for home viewing. Enjoyed the heck out of it. Thought it was a really fun ride, and all of the trailers for Deadpool 2 have me interested in seeing it. That it remains to be seen whether I will go see it in the theater. I don't know. And it's
you can't exactly take your kids.
Well, my oldest is 18 now, so he can see it with or without me.
But
and
did you want to take it with you?
No, I don't. I don't think I want to see
Connor?
Deadpool 2 with my oldest child. But anyway, yeah.
Hi, Dad.
Our
We're not going to go see
viewership is
Deadpool
growing.
either.
Yes.
Last up for me is technically not a new comic. This is Star Wars Tag and Bink. We're here. This is a Marvel Comics published. This is under their Legends banner, so it's not in canon for Star Wars, if that's something that matters to you. Basically, many moons ago, Dark Horse had a really fun Star Wars anthology book called Legends. Was it just called Star Wars Legends?
I don't know. Stormtrooper Jeff might be able to help us out with that one.
Yeah. And in it, they had just kind of everything. There was a great Skippy the Robot Droid, which was the droid from the beginning of A New Hope that his motivator blows up. And it's his whole backstory where he has the Force and he's like the only Force-using robot. And there's a cool story where Indiana Jones finds the crashed Millennium Falcon. And just like really weird out there Star Wars stories. Vader holding 3PO's skull because he's kind of the creator. It's like a Hamlet type deal.
Star Wars Tales.
Star Wars Tales, yes. It was super awesome. And one of the super awesome things that appeared in there were a couple stories featuring characters named Tag and Bink. And basically it's clerks in the Star Wars universe. It's two random guys with normal jobs trying to make ends meet and wisecracking. And we see them kind of intercut throughout the background of the original Star Wars trilogy and the Star Wars prequels and the later ones. And then they also got two-issue miniseries. This collects everything. This is all there is. This is possibly all there ever will be. They're all written by by Kevin Rubio. And then you've got a variety of pencilers because these are across several years. But this is all the Tag and Bink. If you're a Star Wars fan and you have a sense of humor, it is amazing. Manny Both Hands dies. We find out what happened to Chewbacca's medal. Just so much fun to check out Tag and Bink. And this is what was originally two different two-issue miniseries plus the Star Wars Tales. So we're talking like 5 or 6 comics worth of content. It's $7.99. It is awesome. None of this has been reprinted by Marvel yet. It's not an indie graphic novel, so the old Dark Horse trades are a little tough to run down. So Marvel's got your back for the funniest Star Wars book I've ever read.
Yeah, if you are a Star Wars fan, this is must-own material. You will laugh out loud as you read it, and you will never see the Star Wars universe the same way again. All right, I want to say hi to Tim, who wants to know if we're looking forward to Solo. We'll circle back around to that. Say hi to Austin as well. I am looking forward to. It's a Star Wars movie. It's a Star Wars movie directed by Opie Cunningham, directed by Ron Howard,
director of Willow, the greatest Lucasfilm Ron Howard
one of the
collaboration
most
to this
underrated
point.
movies of all time. Yeah, you know, I have faith to some degree. But yeah, regardless, I'm going to be there the Thursday night that I can. The first opportunity to see it, I'm totally seeing it. I hope that it's good.
Yeah, Star Wars is a tricky beast, and Han Solo is the coolest character in Star Wars, probably. Suck it, Boba Fett. And recreating cool is very challenging because as soon as you try, you're not cool anymore. We should have got Fonzie to direct it. He still directs, right? Wait, Opie knows Fonzie, so yeah, he'll be fine. He can figure this out. I honestly, like, Woody Harrelson's in it, and Donald Glover as Lando. Like, those guys are good in almost everything. Like, I've never seen a bad Woody Harrelson. Well, he's been in bad movies. I've never seen a bad Woody Harrelson performance.
Yeah.
So I'm
And the Mother of
excited.
Dragons is in it.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't watch
can't
your
remember her
Sexy
name.
Dragon show.
Oh, she was in that awesome Terminator movie. Not.
I didn't watch your awesome Sexy Terminator movie
No,
either.
that movie was not good.
But yeah, I'm excited for Han Solo. There's no Star Wars movie we won't show up for. I saw freaking Clone Wars, the animated motion picture in the theaters. And
So did I. I took my kids.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah, the series was good. The movie was not.
Not good.
They would have been better off just launching the series and
Not good. You know what I would like to see, though, is a Tag and Bink movie.
I would be okay with that.
That would be super cool.
No, they should do like the
do a
old
series.
the old shorts they used to do before
Oh, yeah,
cartoons.
yeah.
Just a recurring one. You've got a Star Wars movie every year. Do a 15 or 20 minute Star Wars or Tag and Bink short. I'd be down for that.
Oh, and I meant
Disney, call me.
Meant to say
Them, I
this
guess.
after Josh finished his review of Tag and Bink, but I will show my age here and say that Kevin Rubio is the creator of Troops. If you've never seen, if you remember seeing the Troops, the cops parody Troops, where the stormtroopers are like cops, and yeah, that was super cool.
Early days of the internet.
Yeah, I'd show my age with the early days of the internet. Look for it on YouTube. It's awesome. Okay, finally, we have a website question. Hooray! Ooh. Tim wants to know when the Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker will be shipping. It is, we just got notification yesterday or today that it is scheduled for later this month. So, there you go, Tim.
According to Stormtrooper Jeff, Ron Howard tweeted saying that Tag and Bink are in Solo. I'm okay with that.
It could be the beginning.
I feel like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So that is it for this week. As I said at the top of the show, it is Free Comic Book Day week. So this Saturday, May 5th, is Free Comic Book Day at over 2,000 stores around the world. So find your local comic shop. You can go to freecomicbookday.com and enter in your zip code. You'll be able to find the store that's closest to you. Go on out. There is a Star Wars Solo free comic book, so it's the young Han Solo. We've got Amazing Spider-Man and Captain America, Avengers, Doctor Who. Basically, here at Alter Ego, we'll have just over 20 different titles that you can choose from.
At 10 o'clock, we'll have 20 different titles. At 10:30, it could be a different story.
10:05.
Yeah.
But all the details are on our Facebook page, and I will put a link underneath this video so you can get to the Facebook. Well, you're on our Facebook page. Yes.
Unless they're watching it on YouTube.
Yeah. So check out the Facebook page for all the details, the event for Free Comic Book Day, and go out and support your local shop. This is the best day of the year. It's the most fun, and it's great to see everybody come together over their love of comics.
And Brian K. Vaughan, creator of Saga, does have a book out, Spurrier,
Yes.
for Comic Day book.
Free Comic Book Day here, Wes, starts at 10 a.m. It's from 10 until 4, and then we have the Touch a Truck event, which will be out in the street from noon until 2. So I know it's a little confusing, but Free Comic Book Day starts at 10, runs until 4. Touch a Truck starts at noon, runs until 2. And
so for those of you keeping track, if you don't like listening to sirens, maybe come before noon.
Yes. All kinds of awesome stuff going on. But head on out to your local comic shop, pick up some of these books that we talked about this week because they are all awesome, and you will be happy if you do. So thanks for tuning in. If you liked this week's show, this week's episode, please like, comment, and share. We do appreciate it. And we'll see you again next Wednesday to talk about next week's best comics.
It's going to be awesome.
I don't believe you. You did not sound enthusiastic.
It's going to be awesome. Have a good night, everybody.